Okay, so one day my lighting is going to be on point. Let's just start from the beginning. So when you prime your eyes, we all know we need to set it. Most packs come, most eyeshadow palettes come with a color that you can put on at very first, like a little nude color. So in the Iconic London, it would be in the nude because it is a nice, soft, just like basic white color. Now, let's say you're going to do Violet Voss, right? So you've looked at it and there's two of them. So what do? This is how you tell. I put them on my fingers, okay? So if you can't see the difference, let me help you. I don't know what that brown stuff is. This one is shiny, so you do not use this one. This one is the one that you would use. So if you have troubles and you're like, I don't know what to start with, like which one's going to be the best one to set my primer, put it on your finger. Okay, so we've done that, right? So we're going to put together some colors today. We are going to go neutral today. So here's what I usually do. I take a palette and I look at it and I'm like, what do I want to do? So I'm looking at these two colors, which are Transition and Bestie, and I put them on my fingers. Again, I do finger testing. So I look at the difference between the two of them, right? So you can see one's more yellow and one's more tan. So today I want to go very light, very basic. I'm going to go with Bestie. This would be my first transition shade that I would start right into, okay? So we're going really simple, really, really simple. Let me figure out what color I'm going to do next. So here's two things. So here's two browns, right? This is a more yellow brown and this is a more brown, like a deep brown. I don't know what that brown is on my finger. Oh, it must be hair color. I may have colored my hair. Okay, so you're looking at both of those. Let's say you're going to go with this one next, okay? This is your easiest way to know how to do it. What I do is, it doesn't matter. They all come in the same thing. But if you're kind of one of those people that likes to stay in the same tones, I would do the yellow tone with the yellow tone and the brown tone with the brown tone. So then I would go right into brownie points with Bestie up here, okay? So that's your first little set. Let's say you're going to go into the, and then you know what? Let's say you want to put a shimmer shade on. We're going to take it and we're going to look at them. Let's see what, no, that's not a shimmer shade. Just kidding. We're going to see what this shimmer shade is and then this shimmer shade. Oh, and this one too. That's a nice one. There's three of them. Okay. So this is how I decide. So all of them, all three of these would look really good with the two colors that I picked out. And let's say you're like, I don't want to put a shimmer on. Then what I would do, I would go right back into Bestie, the first color that I started with, and I would just put that on the rest of my lid where I put my shimmer. So this whole part is where I would put like a matte color, okay? So let's say you're going to go into pinks. Now, people are scared, right? They're like, they look at this and they say, well, you can't put a brown with a pink. Well, you absolutely can, because that's what I did today. So what I did was I went right into the color Transition, and then I went over to this pink next, and then I went right into the teddy bear to darken it up, okay? So when they put palettes together like this, it is meant to all be used. Every color in here can be used all together. It just depends on what you're going for. Okay, so that is really how I do my eyeshadow. I put it on my fingers and I'm like, let's see what colors I want to go together. You guys, this is a beautiful palette, by the way. So here's three. Actually, let's put it on totally different fingers because those have browns on them. There's three colors alone that you could actually put with the pink eyeshadow, okay? So these are not super, there's no glitter to any of these, like not even a stitch of glitter. They're all very shimmer shades. They are not glitter shades. So we're going to look at this palette and we're going to go for it again, okay? We're first going to go into Transition. Then we're going to go to Oh, cute. Hashtag, hashtag. That one can come next. And then let's say we're going to go into brownie points just to darken it up on the outside edge. You guys, do not make this harder than it has to be. Same thing with this palette. I'm just going to show you with, let's say you've got Jaclyn Hill's palette, okay? So you've got this ginormous palette and you're like, how do I even put it together? I just usually start up here with the lighter colors. Now, her palette, unfortunately, has no white to go with. If you put both of these whites on your fingers, they're both shimmer shades, okay? So you could go with neither of these colors. You'd have to grab another palette to, or you could just use your setting powder and put it over your eyes, okay? So you've got all these colors, right? But look at all the tonal value of these. These all go really well together. And if you're ever confused, because some of these will turn a little bit more orange and some will turn a little bit more brown, okay? So honestly, I'm telling you the secret to all of this. I just take it and I put them on my fingers and I look at them. So those are two different browns, right? One's more of a warm brown and one's more of a cool brown. What do I feel like that I want to put together? Let's say I want to be orange. I usually always start up in one of these colors or my transition shades. Any of these colors, actually. Even a yellow could be your transition shade. These are all light enough colors that they could all be transition shades that you can start with very, very first, okay? And then let's see, how can I help you with this? This is a really big palette, so it's kind of a harder one. So what would I put together if I was going to do, let's say I really want to go deep. I want to go into, actually, here's the thing. This is what's hard. All these palettes will turn different colors on everybody. So I just rubbed two colors. One is more of a red color and one is more of a brown color. So it just depends on, let's say, okay, let's start here from the beginning so I can explain this. I always figure out how dark I want my eyeshadow to be, and then that will tell me where I start with. And then I go in and I figure out where I want to go. I always just start with these little light shades. These are always my transition shades. No big deal. It's figuring out what goes kind of second and can kind of go into your crease area. So I would go down, and depending on how dark I would want it to be, I'd either go into this color or I would come right down to this row. And what I would do is I would put it on my fingers, and depending on the mood that I'm in, that's what I would really go with. Or I'd actually go down to these two right here. Okay? So that's how I roll. I don't use any of these colors. These are not my favorites. I don't think they're very pretty. I don't like them. Same thing with the shimmer shades. I would do the same exact thing. What colors do I want it to be? Do I want it to be more in the pink tone? Do I want it to stay more in the chrome tone? It just depends. So do not hesitate in just using all these colors. I think a lot of people get really scared. They see things like this. Ugh, my hair's looking weird. They see big palettes like that and they get nervous because they're like, what do I use together? Okay, so let's go over this with another palette. A lot of you have Modern Renaissance, Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and it's a pink palette. Okay, so we have here a little bit more tricky of one. We have some oranges and browns, and we also have some pinks. Now, what people would be scared of is if they're going to do a pink color, they would never use any of these as transition colors. Do not shy away from these. These absolutely can be a transition color. I would actually either use raw sienna or golden ochre if I was going to do a pink color, any of these pink colors, or this one. I would start with one of these two colors. If you want to start with this one, you totally can, but this is where I would start, okay? Same thing with the oranges and the browns. I would start with probably this color because this tone goes well and pairs well with this one. So I would start with this color first, which is burnt orange, okay? Then I would go to Ragnar. Yeah, no, Real Gar. Real Gar. Then if I wanted to deepen up, I would go to Cypress Umber right here. Okay, so all of these colors go together. Do not ever shy away from them. Let's say also, I don't want to be solid pink. I would actually go into a little bit of red ochre also, and maybe go into a pink, right? So I'd do the pink first, and then I'd go into the red ochre and I would darken it up. If you were going into the pink and you're like, I feel like it's too pink, go into the Cypress Ember and put a little bit of that over the top of it. Like, literally, do not make this harder than it has to be. If you look at this and you're confused ever, put them on your fingers and see what you like the best together. That is the easiest way to tell, like, whatever you want it to be, whatever look you want it to be, that's how I usually do it, right? So this one actually has very few shimmer shades. It only has 2 shimmer shades. So if you want a very matte, palette, this is a really, really good one. I really like this one actually too. So I hope this helped. Like, that was a lot of information, right? I feel like that was a lot of information. Anyway, I hope that helped. I hope that you guys can all figure this out. I will help you as much as I possibly can. A lot of people too, also, make sure that if you guys are going to go really, really, really neutral and hardly put anything on, always put like a really bright shimmery shade in the middle of the eyes. And let's say you want to go into them. I would either go into, let's say this one, which is a pink one. I would put, and this would be a really cool one. This gold one would be really cool in the corners of your eyes too. Actually show you so you can actually see, so you don't panic. It's called Toffee. Let me see it. I was actually watching Very Cavalieri the other day, and hers was clear out to like here. She had a very neutral color on, and then her corners were clear out here. Again, if you have any other questions or you have any other eyeshadow palettes and I can look at it for you, definitely let me know. Comment down below. I can help you with anything on how to put anything together. Again, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.